It's time to fire this thing up.
Welcome aboard ShipShape TV Essentials. This is your port of call for the most impactful upgrades, expert advice, and hands-on solutions from seasons past. This episode is proudly brought to you by SureHold, because anything worth doing is worth doing bright. From cleaning to protecting and perfecting, SureHold has everything you need to keep your boat shining. Don't just go boating, go showboating. Now, let's hoist anchor and set a course for another exciting episode of ShipShape TV Essentials.
If boating's your game, then you agree. ShipShape is the way to be. Out on the lake or on the sea, ShipShape means trouble-free. ShipShape means being neater. ShipShape makes boat work easier. ShipShape is the way to go. The ShipShape Boat Care Show.
It's good to have you working around the boat with us again today on ShipShape TV. I'm John Greviskis, and welcome to America's favorite boat improvement show. What I'm doing here is I'm putting on a pair of 23-inch Vengeance counter-rotating stainless steel props on the back of our 1982 Pursuit project boat. We're down to the final step of our refurbishing of the boat. We're down to one of the most misunderstood steps. We're talking about propping today. We have been invited to Mercury's secret test facility, Lake X, and we have a couple of special guests today. We have Lee Boyt from Mercury Marine's Propeller Company, and we have world champion water skier Lucky Lowe, who's going to actually show us how props can affect your performance. Get ready for the most crucial way to make your boat shipshape.
ShipShape, America's favorite boat improvement show, is being brought to you in part by
Copcoat Marine Group, makers of Pettit, Woosley, and Z-Spar Marine Paints. Brevard Boat Sales, Florida's East Coast Sea Ray dealer. Boaters World Discount Marine Centers. Real low prices guaranteed.
I finished putting the props on and then backed the boat into the water, and now we're heading out to the mysterious Lake X, where Mercury does all of their high-performance testing for their engines and props. And Nick, with these stainless props, what are we looking for out of them?
A couple things, John. We want to do some tests on acceleration, time from dead stop to a planing speed. The second thing is going to be mid-range cruise. That's normally the most important, especially on a boat like this. You're going out to the fishing grounds, you need to cover some distance and get the most distance for your most economical RPM, distance traveled, fuel burn. These particular engines like to run between 4 and maybe 4,400 RPMs for a cruise, so we're going to test it in that range. And then we want to check our top RPMs and make sure that at top speed we're not turning either below or above the recommended engine RPM.
Give us a heads up on these particular propellers.
Okay, well these are the Vengeance that you just put on, and the Vengeance are basically a replacement to an aluminum prop. It's a stock stainless wheel. It doesn't have any particular tricks or bells and whistles about it. It's basically a stock stainless steel wheel, and we're using that as a baseline to see what kind of speeds this boat's going to be capable of and how it handles.
Well, let's hit the throttles and see what happens.
All right, let's give it a whirl. Planing time was very respectable at 3.8 seconds. Our cruise was a comfortable 36 miles per hour at 4,200, and we obtained a top speed of 54 miles per hour at approximately 6,000 RPMs.
Nick, why don't you go ahead and work the rest of the numbers, and also hook up with Lucky Lowe, our world-famous water skier. Get on the Sea Ray 175 and see what you can find out there. I'm going to talk with Lee from Mercury Propeller and look at some different props.
Great, John.
Good afternoon, Lee.
Hey, John.
I'd like to introduce you to Lee Boyt from Mercury Marine Propeller Company. And Lee, I was hoping you could tell us a little bit about props.
Yeah, I'd be glad to, John. When we talk about propellers, we typically describe them in numbers. 1419 is a common example.
What do those numbers mean?
Well, the first number is diameter. And diameter is best described as the distance around an imaginary circle the propeller makes every time it turns.
Okay, so if we took our finger and we went to the outside edge of the blades and we drew a circle and we measured across, that would give us the diameter.
Right.
Now what's the second number?
The second number is pitch. For instance, this is a 19-inch pitch propeller.
Okay.
Reason we measure it in inches, because every time this propeller makes one complete revolution,
Right.
it moves the boat forward about 19 inches.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
We're going to be testing two boats today. Not only our project boat, but also a ski boat, a Sea Ray 175, and it comes with a stock 3-blade aluminum prop. Tell us about that. You have one right here.
Yeah, the Sea Ray is equipped with a 3-blade Black Max propeller.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very good propeller, works well on the boat, very inexpensive. However, it's not real durable.
Okay. Now we're going to look at a couple of different prop options with this boat. What's the first one?
We're going to move up from the 3-blade aluminum to a 3-blade stainless steel propeller, the Vengeance series.
Okay. The advantage of stainless over the aluminum?
6 times more durable.
Wow.
So we can make the blades a little bit thinner and pick up some performance to boot.
Excellent. We're also going to look at something new here. This is a 4-blade propeller, but this is aluminum here.
Yeah, that's exciting. There's never been a real good 4-blade aluminum propeller on the market.
You're right.
So you can get 4-blade performance at aluminum price.
Excellent. Now we were very satisfied with the performance that we received out of our 3-blade stainless props. What else are we going to be testing?
On your project boat, we're going to run a set of offshore 4-blade stainless propellers.
Okay.
Now these were specifically designed for twin-engine offshore fishing boats like yours.
Fantastic.
They're going to help the boat plane quicker, stay on plane at a lower speed, but more importantly, you should pick up some mid-range cruise speed, give you better offshore handling too.
Lee, thanks. Right now we need to go to break, but stay around because when we come back, we're going to introduce you to world-famous water skier Lucky Lowe. Stay with us. Lee.
Here's what's coming up next on Shipshape TV.
Hi, I'm John Greviskis with Shipshape TV. Look at this guy and all the products he needs to maintain his boat. I guarantee you he'll be tripping over that stuff all day long. Forget that nonsense. Use what I use, the SureHold family of products, the one handle that does it all. Any one of these quality-built SureHold attachments easily locks right into place, and here's the best part. They're the best quality items money can buy. You have my word on it. Whether it's for your car, truck, RV, or boat, keep it shipshape with SureHold products.
We now return to Shipshape TV.
Welcome back. You know, props are so crucial when you're talking about the boat's performance, and that really holds true when you're talking about water skiing. We have a very special guest with us today. His name is Lucky Lowe, and he's a world champion water skier and ski consultant. And Lucky, what kind of prop did we have on the Sea Ray 175?
John, we had a 21-inch Mercury aluminum prop.
What kind of performance did you get out of it?
Not as good as we needed. It was a little bit slow coming out of the hole, and I also noticed that once we got up and I started cutting pretty strong, that the boat started giving on me right after I made my turn.
Well, you know, Lee from Mercury Propeller was telling me that aluminum props, their blades will sometimes flex, and maybe the boat was slipping a little bit.
It could have been.
Now, Nick's brought the boat around. We're going to be changing the prop. Let's see what he's putting on.
All right.
Hey, Nick, what you got going on?
Well, John, what I've got here is the Vengeance propeller, similar to the ones that you put on the Pursuit earlier. And the Vengeance prop was basically designed to be an affordable replacement to an aluminum prop. There's not a whole lot of difference in, say, blade designs, etc., but it is stainless.
It's stainless, and so with stainless, you're going to get less flexing of the blades, and that means what? Less slippage.
Less slippage. The other thing we want to mention about stainless is the fact that the stainless steel propellers, they really give you much more durability, especially on a stock boat. You get a guy who hits a sandbar or maybe catches a rock. These stainless blades can be repaired many times over.
Okay.
So you may buy, say, 3 or 4 aluminum props to every one stainless or more, because in fact you can repair and keep them in service.
Great. So you're going to put this on, and then you and Lucky are going to head back out?
We're going to go give it another whirl, and then we'll see what our results are, see if there's any difference.
Well, while you do that, we're going to head up to the observation tower and check you guys out from the air.
Great. About ready there, Lucky?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Don't you ever crash and burn?
Not today, John. I'm taking it easy out there, just trying to get some good cuts going.
What'd you think of the stainless prop?
Seemed like it was a little bit better.
Yeah?
On the pull-up, it was a little more solid. And once we got going, when I was making my cuts, it held the RPMs a lot better. It seemed like there wasn't as much give.
Hey, Lucky, we need to take some time right now to check out this new boat that's out on the water. Let's have a look at it. I had the opportunity over the weekend to stop into the Pompano Beach location of Boaterama and check out the Bayliner Capri 2350 LS with my good friend Carlos Ruiz.
Welcome to Boaterama, John.
Good to see you, Carlos.
Hello. This is the 2350 Capri, 23 foot of boat, 8.5 foot of beam.
It's huge.
Come down. Let me show you here. This is the bar rider. That's why they call bar rider. You have the space open up here. Look at this space. You can sit 4 kids, 2 adults. Not only that, John, 3 extra cushions. You can use it as a sun lounge. Then,
What can you stow down there?
whatever you need. So you don't need the other space. Everything comes down here.
Huge pass-through, by the way.
Well, we built our own windshields, okay? Look at this windshield. Safety class, very strong.
Nice helm.
Oh.
Real nice helm.
Look at this, John. Tilt. Look at this. Back, forward.
You got your trim and everything right on the handle
On
of
the
your controls.
AM, FM cassette. Standard.
That comes standard?
Standard on this boat.
You know, most boat companies, what they'll do is if you want a radio or if you want a bimini top or something like that, cha-ching, you know, boom, more
Oh,
money.
yes. Everybody wants to charge you.
But with you, it's standard?
Standard. Here. You can also ski on this boat.
Really?
This is to put your skis in there. Look at that space.
Unbelievable. You know, I bet a lot of guys could envision themselves going down to the Keys and maybe doing some lobstering, and they could stow down their snorkel gear and everything else.
Of course. This is a very popular boat here in South Florida because a lot of people like to go up to Elliott Key with the family, double seat.
Now, does this convert as well?
Also lounge.
Big sun lounge here as well. You know, we're talking about a lot of sun, but today some people like to get out of the sun and maybe get into a bimini top. Now,
I know you're not seeing a bimini top here.
You got plenty of room to put it right down the middle of the boat.
No. Bimini top is standard.
It's standard.
It's standard. Not only that, we don't, a lot of people concerned that, where are you going to put the bimini top when you're not using it? Come down here. Let me show you.
Holy smokes, Carl, this is
for your
great.
bimini top.
This is great. You can stow it away, get it out of the way. You've also got a very wide seat back here, which you can also lay on. But there's a lot of boat. It's probably pricey. How much?
I have 4 boats this weekend, 4 of these 2350s, okay? Special price, $19,995.
Now that's not bad. You told me about the special purchase that you guys made from Boaterama and all that. But Carlos, I didn't drive all the way down here from Palm Beach to get this boat for $19,995. Got to give our viewers something better.
You get me in trouble.
Come on, you got to help us out.
I'll do this. I do this. Boat price is $19,995. Mention Ship Shape and Boaterama, the team.
Okay.
We will give you $3,000 for your vacation. Cash back money. You're doing it to me again, John.
I love it. $3,000. You can put it in your pocket. You can use it as a down payment on this boat. Or these guys will send you to the Keys and pay for your vacation with that $3,000. I love it. 3 locations. You're in Miami.
Biscayne 135th.
You're in Pompano.
This store, half a mile south on Federal from Atlantic.
They're also in South Palm Beach on US 1, a quarter mile south of Hypalux. So come on down, talk to Carlos Ruiz. You'll be glad you did. You're going to save a lot of money this weekend only.
See you next week, John.
Back to the project. What'd you think of that one, Nick?
Unbelievable, John. They're getting better every week. No doubt about it.
What's going on back here?
John, we're going to go ahead and take these Vengeance off, and we're going to go with the offshore series that you and Lee were talking about, the 4 blades. Now, I wanted to take a minute and just show you guys this. This is unbelievable. This is called a Flow Torque 2 hub system, and this is something that Mercury has developed to make changing your hub out pretty much something anybody can do.
Right.
Now, let's paint a picture here to coin a phrase. You're on a trip, family vacation, maybe you go to the Bahamas, you're down in the Keys, you could be out on a lake, wherever, and you hit something or you blow the hub in your prop. Normally what you got to do is you got to take the prop off, you got to send it out, or if you're on vacation, your time is precious, you got to buy a new prop.
Yeah, you got to buy another
crazy.
prop. Sure.
Well, for whatever, $20, $30, you can keep a spare hub in your boat with common tools, just basically the wrench it's going to take the prop on and off. You can install a new hub, tap it in place, and you're back in business.
Now this isn't a regular hub. This is a new hub. It's like a universal hub that Mercury has come up with.
That's correct. And by universal, good point, we can put this particular prop and all the Mercury props on anybody's engine.
You're kidding me.
I'm talking, you know, whatever, Johnson, Emerald, Yamaha, Suzuki. You just order the right hub kit, and now you get to try all these wonderful wheels that Mercury has on any outboard.
For 25, 30 bucks?
It's unbelievable. You still got to buy the prop, depending on what style prop you buy.
But Nick, this is going to revolutionize the industry.
No question about it. They're really onto something here.
Give us some tips on changing out a hub.
Okay, one of the first things is, whenever you're putting any prop on and off a boat, grease it. You keep the splines greased, prop's gonna come on and off easy. I just like to give it a little dab, make sure you got your thrust hub on. It's not a bad idea to put a little bit of grease behind the thrust hub where the taper is, and then roll it in place.
Okay.
And then we're gonna take and install the propeller, and we're gonna work that grease in and out. Okay, that's gonna get it in all the splines. We're gonna install our nut, and a good tip there is use a piece of wood. Put the wood in between your cavitation plate and your propeller blades. Torque them down to manufacturer's specifications. Average usually about 55 foot-pounds. And if you don't have a good feel for it, don't be afraid to pick up a torque wrench and go ahead and torque it with the torque wrench.
Excellent. Well, right now we need to go to break, but stick around. When we come back, we've got some more testing.
Here's what's coming up next on ShipShape TV.
Why wax when you can pro polish? This premium protective wax from Surehold can be used on virtually any non-porous surface, such as cars, boats, RVs, home equipment, and more. Pro Polish is scientifically formulated to repel water, provide a deep, high-gloss shine, and protect surfaces from the effects of UV rays, salt water, and other harsh environmental elements. Unlike traditional waxes, Pro Polish contains no talc or fillers, which means easy wipe-on, wipe-off performance that doesn't clog up microfiber towels. Enjoy a new way to protect with Surehold's Pro Polish. Surehold, clean and simple.
And now, back to the project.
I like it.
Yeah, working real well.
Welcome back to the show. We wanted to let you guys know that testing these types of props is not out of reach, and Mercury Marine has a program right now to let all boat owners test these props, and I wanted to talk to Lee about that. Nick, why don't you tell them our results between the difference between the 3 and the 4 blade props, okay?
Sure, John. We notice a substantial difference on the 4 blades to the 3 blades all across the boards. To start with, out of the hole. We got on plane about 2 seconds faster. Mid-range cruise, which was, again, one of the most important things we were looking for here, the mid-range cruise was, about 3 miles an hour faster. So at 42 to 4,300, we're going almost 40 miles an hour, like 39 miles an hour. Great cruise. The other thing was the bite. Didn't matter whether I was turning or if I was accelerating, what have you, I had a good hard bite. And on the top end, we gained almost 5 miles an hour. We went from 54 miles an hour with the 3 blades all the way up to 58.5, and we kicked 59 once. So overall, we are very happy with the 4 blades.
Real quick, I want to thank the guys out here at Lake X for letting us come out here and actually test the props and use the props and run the boats up and down. And I got to tell you, you guys have some pretty wild boats out here. You do a lot of testing.
Yeah, this is Mercury's corporate test facility. You know, we saw a 28 skater out here today with the new 300 Pro Maxes.
That thing was going over 100 miles an hour.
Awesome, wasn't it?
My gosh, it was unbelievable. But people don't have to come to Lake X to test these props. You guys have a new program out to let boat owners test props on their own in their own backyard. Tell us about that.
Well, that's called our prop demo program, because we've found from our dealers that people want to try propellers before they buy them. Now, a lot of dealers were testing propellers and loaning out good, brand new, shiny new propellers right off the shelf. Well, we started a program where a dealer could invest in special test propellers painted bright blue that they could loan out to people so they could actually try it before they invested in a new prop.
And there's 700 dealers out in the country that are doing this. What if your local Mercury dealer guy isn't doing this? Can you go up to him and ask him, say, hey, can you get with the program already? I want to try these props out.
Sure. Just talk to your dealer. A lot of dealers, like I mentioned, are already testing and loaning propellers on their own.
Right.
We'll have the promotion again this fall, very likely.
Okay. And how do they find a dealer near them?
Well, to find your local Mercury dealer or your local demo prop dealer, call 1-800-Mercury. It's as easy as that.
Great. Well, let's turn it back over to Nick. Nick, everything going all right?
You know, John, it looks like the foreblades are really shining through here today. I noticed an incredible difference right from the beginning, from the whole shot to the acceleration, and then through the RPM range, especially at the mid-range where you're skiing. You're skiing at mid-range, you're not skiing it wide open. I felt a lot of power and a good, strong bite. I think Lucky would agree.
That's right, Nick. I really noticed the difference between the 3 and the 4 blade prop. And another thing I'd like to tell you I noticed is when the boat was turning, I was swinging out to the side. It held the speed all the way through the turn. I couldn't feel it give any, so I could keep a good cut and not sink down in the turn.
I see. So when we're coming back around and I was making those sharp turns, you notice I was making them a little sharper with the 4 blades.
That's right. Yeah, you was getting me out on the side pretty good.
Yeah, good skiing, by the way.
Thanks.
Really good. And happy to have you with us. Right now we need to take a short break, but stay around. When we come back, John and I are going to do the final test on the Pursuit.
Here's what's coming up next on ShipShape TV.
The SureHold Soft Brush. Perfect for use on boats, cars and trucks, decks and patios, and even windows. Specially designed split-end bristles hold more soap and water for effortless and effective cleaning. Built-in safety bumper protects surrounding surfaces from accidental damage. The included 48-inch threaded wooded handle is sturdy, lightweight, and strong. Proudly made in the USA, the SureHold Marine Mate Soft Brush is the worldwide standard in deck brushes. SureHold. Clean and simple.
We now return to ShipShape TV.
To be able to gain 5 miles an hour out of a boat's performance just by simply changing the props on your boat is unbelievable.
It sure is.
We got up on plane 2 seconds faster. This
mid-range cruise, we're almost 1-to-1. 4,000, we were almost 40.
Changing prop, this is a nominal expense. This is not out of reach for any boater out there in comparison with boating.
But when you think about it, it's probably the single most inexpensive way to see the largest gains on any boat.
You're right, Nick. Well, we're about out of time. We've got some guys we want to thank. We want to thank Lee from Mercury Marine Propeller Company, as well as Lucky Lowe.
Oh, my goodness.
Fantastic
This
skiing.
guy can ski.
Oh, he's
Woo.
unbelievable.
Hey, John, you know what? Project Boat's done. What do you say? Me and you, get in the boat, go to Keys, go fishing.
You got it.
All right.
Till next week, guys.
Keep your boat ship shape.